once again, the big D agenda. Uh, Women are having sex with nephilim. If you know anything about nephilim spirits, they're basically from the fallen angels having sex with women, and that seed is on the earth. And so that seed is not natural, not from God, but it's from the kingdom of hell, it's from Satan's kingdom. I believe that um, that the women nowadays are actually having sex with men that are not completely human beings, right? And let me go into this. So back in the 70s, that's like when the porn industry really blew up. It blew up, of course, in America since this is Babylon, and Babylon spreads all of its evil all across the world, right? So in America, porn was really getting its footing. There was a lot more porn videos on video on tape. People would go to theaters to watch porn movies. I'm sure that you've seen um, that movie with Robert De Niro. He's sitting in the theater watching the porn movies, and New York was a hotbed for that. All downtown New York, like Broadway and uh, Manhattan, they had all these porn theaters, and so that was building steam in the 70s. Of course, they had X-rated videos back in the 50s and 60s, but it was more prevalent in New York in the 70s. And so as time went along, in the 80s, it really blew up in Van Nuys in California. San Bernardino, the porn industry really blew up. That's when people had the VHS tapes, and the whole society, American society, was being inundated and just flooded with all this porn images. And of course, you had Showtime and HBO. They were starting the cable networks were starting, and even as a kid, I was just like, I was influenced by that. I would watch television, watch the Showtime, and have the squiggly lines. You couldn't see the picture, but you could hear the noises of the porn people having sex. And so I'm pretty sure a lot of people my age grew up in the 80s. They actually had the same experience. But anyways, so in these porn videos, you had these men, and these men had really big members, if you know what I mean. And as porn gained more steam and people start watching it more, the women or men became sexualized by their member, how big their member was. Now, of course, people try to make it seem like men are the only one that really care about sex, but women, you have to remember, they are they their whole a lot of their their lives, they try to get themselves to fulfill a certain image. They have to be skinny enough. They have to have the makeup on to look a certain way for the affection or the approval of a man, to be desired by a man. And so women are also always thinking a lot about having sex and doing and having that experience. It's not just men. But we just didn't know how much women were being overtaken by this spirit to have sex and to be promiscuous. So in the 80s, that's when porn kind of blew up. In the 90s, of course, the industry really blew up. So in every household, you had people going to like Blockbuster Video or going to some movie store to rent porn movies, right? A lot of us once again thought it was just men that were doing this because of course we're men, and all we can think about is pleasing that head in between our legs. But it was women as well, secretly doing the taboo thing. It was taboo to watch porn as being a woman back in those times in the 70s, 80s, 90s. That was a man thing. But secretly, women were watching these videos too. And all of these images were also being stored in their memory box, right? It was changing the whole country, the whole world spiritually. Now we get to this place right now. This video is entitled The Big D Agenda. Now, the Big D Agenda, of course, we know that those people that claim to be JEWS, Jews, in Israel, they are in control of all of these industries. They're also control of the theater, of a movie industry, the pharmaceutical industry, of course, also the porn industry. So they introduced all of these porn images and videos and these thoughts came from those people. They spread that into America. Now you have we come up to the day. If you watch some of these porn videos, now I don't watch porn anymore. I used to watch it all the time. Coming up as a kid, it was just the thing to do, to watch these porn videos, and you start to see these images get worse and worse, and these storylines get just more provocative and just more sexual. well, for me, I used to watch it a lot. And I used to even set my day to watch a certain video because it was just something that I was becoming more attracted to. Later would find out it was a spiritual thing that was going on with me. And so, of course, the Most High God took that away from me. Thank the Most High God. But so in these images, you see these men with these big members. And so the women would see that too. So now I think that the goal was now for the woman was to get with a man that had a member like that. So because the man was being so sexualized now, the man was being sexualized now and quantified as being his worth was what was between his legs. So now the woman goes out and finds a man because that and her goal is to find a man that has this, because if she doesn't have find that man with that member between his legs that is 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, even 8 inches, then she's missing out on something. She's not being fulfilled the way she should be. And so the woman would go out, I believe this is what this agenda is. They would go out and they would find a man that had that. Now, they would have the sexual encounter. And because they had been fantasizing about being with a man that had a member between his legs that was that big, a member that they saw in these videos, these porn videos, these movies, they had the experience, and because it wasn't natural, I believe, now once again, I believe that these women are having sex with nephilim spirit people that have nephilim spirits, so that means they're not fully human. I believe that these people are have a fallen angel seed inside of them, these men that look like men, that makes their members bigger than the normal men. So when these women have these sexual experiences, they are being completely in enslaved. One second. It's crazy how my reception is going out. Must be powerful. So now you got these women having sex with these Nephilim spirit men that are not fully human. They have a Nephilim seed that I believe that's been passed down from Satan's kingdom. It says in the Bible that Noah, when the flood happened, the giant, everything got destroyed, but there were giants that still existed, just like giants existed in the time of David when he fought Goliath. I believe that those giants actually lived on the earth and they set up societies. Go check out the Tatarian society. Go check out how San Francisco and all of these old world countries over in Europe, how they had this a whole the society looked completely different. You had the huge buildings with the huge doorways, the huge books. You had they did excavation. You had skeletons that were huge, like 14, 15 feet creatures, like skeletons that were buried. So and it was talking about Tataria, how the giants actually ruled that society, and that was a worldwide society that these these giants or Nephilims actually ran. So imagine now, nowadays you think about the deep state and who controls the deep state. And so, the leaders that we have, like our presidents of these different nations, we all know they're not the ones truly in power. But I believe that the ones truly in power are those Nephilims, the giants that actually went into hiding sometime in the late 1800s, early 1900s. They start to have these mud floods where all the major cities were being destroyed. And they say it was a mud flood that destroyed these huge buildings, these beautiful cathedrals. Like the whole society in America and all over the world had these huge, big. Sorry, once again, I believe that giants, I believe, created had their own here, right? And so they went into hiding. Back to the agenda, right? I believe that they've been in hiding and they've still been mating and having sexual dealings with the women, these giants, these Nephilim spirit, the men that look like men, but they're not really men. They're not fully blooded men. They're like they have the Nephilim seed from Satan's kingdom. So their members are going to be bigger. They're going to have a bigger member down there. And now when you have the porn, you're seeing, I believe, a lot of those porn star guys that you see, they're Nephilim. They're man mixed with fallen angel seed, which is making their members bigger. The women are having sex with them, and they're polluting and populating the earth with children. These children that are just so evil now, that have no respect for family, no respect for parents, no respect for life. they just live any kind of way and do any kind of thing, and you can't speak any sense into them. I believe it's because they have this fallen angel seed. These women are going out there because they're now so, their minds have been so transformed by these sexual dealings that they've had with these nephilim spirits that look like men, and they have these big members, and the women are being just completely overtaken and enslaved by that feeling of being penetrated 12-inch, 11-inch, 10-inch, whatever. I don't think that's natural. And so when they have this experience, now their mind is only thinking, their heart, they're only thinking about getting that feeling a bit again, having that type of sexual experience. So if they get with a normal man that might have a 7-inch, 6-inch, whatever it is, just not no 9, 10, 11, all these huge, they don't have that, right? We don't have that. And so then they they're not attracted now. They don't, there's something in them that says, I'm missing out because I can't get with the guy that has the member that I seen in the porn videos. And so now people that look like me, or even just anybody, if you get with a lot of times, it's like if you get with a woman and you do not have that, right? And they've already been polluted, their minds have already been polluted because of the videos, the movies, all the images, and all that stuff of a man, not a Nephilim seed. So now they will look down on you, or they'll say, I don't really, you're good and we're cool, but I want that guy. And then that guy is seeking to be sexually promiscuous because you have a spirit in you that's seeking to fornicate. In the back, she can have any choice, pick of any man that she wants. All she has to do is show a little bit of interest. And the man, because we have been so sexualized, because we have been made, men have been made to believe that we have to get with the woman that has this backside, because that's what they have chosen. That's the body part that the fault, that the deep state and all these people that control the governments and societies, that's the body part that they have wanted to be pronounced and wanted to be more propped up in the media, so to speak, as to be the, what is considered beautiful, what is considered sexual, or sexy, or, so they have made the woman's backside be that part. The man's penis and our member is the part for us. So now, if you don't have, a woman doesn't have that backside, then they've made us believe that we're missing out on something. Like I told you, the women watch the videos, the men watch these porn videos, and they see the images of, and they want to, they see it, and their bodies now start to yearn for that, because you're getting a spirit in you by putting these images in our minds, these porn images. You're getting these unnatural, demonic, evil spirits that are entering into you, and now you're gonna not want the natural thing. You're gonna want that extreme thing. You're gonna want that to have that experience, that sexual experience, which is not natural, which is extreme. So you're gonna seek that. So the women seek the man with the big thing that they think that between their legs, and they think that they've made it. This is, no matter what the man does to them, a lot. Now I'm not talking about all women, but it's like no matter what the man does to them, how bad he treats them, how much he drags her through the mud, is all kind of things, and he's never there for the kids. He's just some deadbeat low life that don't take care of nothing, right? They'll stay with that man to the bitter end, and even back that